Bigfoot tracks in the sand. Hole punches spiders, conspiracies tight. He's podcasting strong, deep into the night. From the man from UNCLE to the Motown scene. He's dropping gems like you never seen. Oh, you know Tom Gulley, he's the podcast king. Say what? Ladies man with a smooth, sweet swing. Bigfoot, spider, and 9/11 schemes. Tom's a man of your wildest dreams. Tom Gulley, he's got charm, got wit, and a silky flow. Oh yeah, talking mysteries only Tom would know. From R&B to the funk so tight, so tight. He's spinning webs like a spider at night. Woo! His voice is smooth like a Motown jam. Ooh-wee. You can't help but say that's my man. Oh yeah, Tom Gulley, he's the podcast king. Ladies man with a smooth, sweet swing. Ooh. Bigfoot, spiders, and 9/11 schemes. Tom's the man of your wildest dreams. Tom Gulley, I'm gonna, Tom Gulley, I'm gonna, Tom Gulley, I'm gonna, Tom Gulley, I'm gonna, Tom Gulley's got a mic in his hand. Ooh yeah, talking Bigfoot tracks in the sand. Hole punches spiders, conspiracies tight. He's podcasting strong, deep into the night. From the man from UNCLE to the Motown scene. He's dropping gems like you never seen. Oh, you know Tom Gulley, he's the podcast king. Say what? Ladies man with a smooth, sweet swing. Bigfoot, spider, and 9/11 schemes. Tom's a man of your wildest dreams. Tom Gulley, he's got charm, got wit, and a silky flow. Oh yeah, talking mysteries only Tom would know. From R&B to the funk so tight, so tight. He's spinning webs like a spider at night. Woo! His voice is smooth like a Motown jam. Ooh-wee. You can't help but say that's my man. Oh yeah, Tom Gulley, he's the podcast king. Ladies man with a smooth, sweet swing. Ooh. Bigfoot, spiders, and 9/11 schemes. Tom's the man of your wildest dreams. Tom Gulley, I'm gonna, Tom Gulley, I'm gonna, Tom Gulley, I'm gonna, Tom Gulley, I'm gonna,
Oh yeah. Shake your moneymaker. Shake what mama gave you. That's right. Hey everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking on this your hump day? We here at the Tom Gulley Show, as always, hope you are receiving the full, total, and complete amount of hump that you so desperately crave and you so rightfully deserve. Tonight we're going to tell you about candy cigarettes, candy smokes, and the incredible backstory behind those. Right now, though, if you could like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell, all the free things you can do to help us with the algorithm, the almighty, all-powerful, all-seeing, all-knowing algorithm. Please hit that like button. We need it bad. We're getting throttled or something. And normally I know it when I get throttled, but recently. Anyway, we also do have memberships. We do have super chats. I notice here that the legendary Terry Nee has already shattered our daily goal of any amount of money with a $1.99 super sticker. Thank you so much, Terry. Follow his example by super chatting or getting a membership, $2.99 a month. Or there's always the PayPal. That's in the description. You give the most, I get the most. We also have our merchandise store, all that good stuff. And, that's great. That's what we got for you. Also, I'll be going over next week's programming. I have a question for you all. Maybe you can help me finalize picking out. I think I know what I want to do here. But there's a question that you guys will need to help me with. There's a thing you need to choose from. We can talk about the thing or we can talk about murder related to the thing. We'll get to it in a while. You might think you know the answer now, but you probably don't. It's complicated. Anyway, let's go through some of your comments. Gullerinos assemble. We just haven't done that in a while, so I felt like doing it. Gilman and I engaged in a quick discussion of the Dallas Cowboys and the problems that they're having, and that's neither here nor there. They're well documented. Gilman doing a little foreshadowing to tomorrow's program about Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Yes, she has a lot of great stories about many celebrities. Terry Nee shaking his groove thing in emoji form. People head bobbing to the new song. Oh yeah, I got another song in today. Maybe I'll play that tomorrow. Maybe I'll save it for next week. I don't think it's a song. It's an awesome song, but I don't think it's a song we can play every day for reasons we'll get into later. But it's another awesome song by our good friend Leon Kennedy. Let's see here. Sax Squatch. Is that like every time there's a saxophone? SG Fanboy, the living legend. He's back here to visit. It's SG Fanboy. Always good to see you, brother. Always good to see you. Always good to see you. Terry Nee with the joke that never stops being funny. Apparently. Al Gore invented the Al Gore rhythm. Maybe right after the internet. Who knows? Masking tape. No? I thought you were serious about whiteout. It's actually on my list. I'm taking it off the list. Terry Nee says, I couldn't pick Elvira's face out of a lineup, but I bet you know she's there. I bet you know she's there, my man. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I've always liked her. She's very funny and a LinkedIn connection of mine. Think about that. And I don't know why. I know it's in some way related to my LinkedIn connection with Lou Ferrigno, but I can't remember how. I don't know. I'm not asking any questions. I'm just rolling with it, is what I'm doing. All right, let's get into today's topic. I have a feeling we're going to be vamping for quite a while, although, who knows? Let me tell you about candy cigarettes. You guys know candy cigarettes. I'm going to show you wait a minute. Da bum. Algorithm. Algorithm. Get it? Yes, I know. I even broke the word up to help pay off the joke. Excuse me. Incidentally, I drove around a little distance today and looked for candy cigarettes. And I didn't go to the usual candy outlets, the grocery store, the convenience store, the places like that. I went to one specific candy outlet, which told me we do sell them, but we're out. What good does that do me? And then I went to another place, and they didn't have any there. Yes, hilarious. That's hilarious. Let's see here. So I did try to find some candy cigarettes, but I'm going to take you back here right now, just in case some of you don't know what candy cigarettes are, which I don't know how you couldn't know, given the name's pretty obvious. Look at that. Look at that right there. Ooh, I didn't put the begging bar in. I have to always beg. There we go. That can't stop ever. There's candy cigarettes. And this is an old school picture because if you look in the box to the left, not the far left, but the full box to the left, it's got a price of 50 cents. 50 cents. And it's world's king size candy. So that's a real box of cigarettes. So candy cigarettes. And the other one's quality sticks. And you can see how closely these resemble, actual cigarettes. They weren't messing around here. Terry says his fourth grade teacher allowed us to keep candy at our desk. Terry, my fourth grade teacher, and I'm not joking around here, my fourth grade teacher's name was Mildred Plunkett. All right? You can probably surmise just from the name, I was not allowed to keep candy at my desk in fourth grade. Now, Mildred Plunkett, I actually was taught by her in her very last year of teaching. And I'm positive it was for 60 years. It could have been for 70. She was an extremely nice lady, but she was very strict. And one of the things that she was really maniacal about was penmanship. Penmanship, because apparently when she began teaching, that's all she taught at the school she was at was penmanship. And to this day, I have beautiful penmanship. Well, I've showed you guys my list before. I have very, very good handwriting. Mildred Plunkett. Mildred Plunkett, sadly, also was the teacher that made me stand in the corner the last day before Christmas break. I'm just going to go ahead and tell this story. I think I have told it once before on this program. Mildred Plunkett, as I mentioned, was a super, super nice lady. She was so nice. She was very sweet. She was very strict, very, very, very strict. And as we were preparing to leave for Christmas break, we had all of our little Christmassy things. We'd Secret Santa, a white elephant, whatever. We're doing all that stuff. And Mildred Plunkett tells a story. She tells us all to be safe over the Christmas holiday. Even though we were planning on going back to our families and having fun and doing all the things that you do at Christmas time, to be careful. Because when she was a girl, her brother had wanted a toboggan, a sled, a snow sled. And he wanted it so bad, and probably back in the 1800s when she was a kid, it was a big deal. So begged for it, and lo and behold, got it. And there was a healthy snowfall on the ground, which in Indiana there would normally be. And he went to the top of the hill across their street. They lived on sort of this curving country road. And he went to the top of the hill and got on his sled and just was going up and down and up and down and up and down. And his mother warned him to be careful. And he said, "Oh, forget you. I don't have to be careful." And at one point he came down the hill And, snow sled, you can't stop. There's no brakes on them. He slid so far that he went into the road and was hit by a passing farm truck. And all of the class got very quiet, except for one of the children in the room who said, "What happened to the sled?" I was asked to stand in the corner for the remainder of the school day at that point. That's just a little picture into the past as we talk about candy cigarettes, which candy cigarettes actually started in the late 19th century. Most of you have seen a candy cigarette. They're chalky white, sticks of candy, many times with an imitation red tip to simulate a burning ash at the end of the cigarette. They are sometimes wrapped in paper and coated in powdered sugar. Now, this is an example here. I'm going to go ahead and show you. This is an example of a wrapped candy cigarette that you would get, and then you blow on it, and it looks like you're smoking. Incidentally, now is probably a good time for me to tell you, one of the greatest benefits, at least when I was a child, of candy cigarettes is making your grandparents and aunts and uncles howl with laughter as you imitated smoking a cigarette. I don't know why this was so funny. Maybe it's along the same lines as the notion of monkeys smoking cigarettes, which you see frequently. I don't know. This particular example is not a great example, but it is a good example of the wrapping of the paper. That happens to be chocolate in there, which we don't have here in this country. I think it's German. I think that Germans are responsible for this. Oh, no, by the way, we'll get to the nations of the world in candy cigarettes in just a moment. The existence of candy cigarettes is actually, even to this day, very controversial. And not so much at the beginning, but it quickly became controversial. Now, it's interesting that candy cigarettes started in the late 19th century. That would have been the late 1800s. And the reason for that is this. Packaged, individually wrapped cigarettes that you can buy in a pack of 20, all right, that did actually not become common. It existed, but it wasn't common until the 1930s, which to this day shocks me when you consider how many movies. Before that, you would buy tobacco at a tobacconist and they would roll it for you there. They had a machine that would do it. And there were certain companies that were selling cigarettes, pack of 20, pre-wrapped, okay? A lot of places you rolled your own up to the 1930s. Many people did that. They rolled their own cigarettes. Or they would go into a store and have it done for them. So it's a little interesting that candy cigarettes sold in a pack started much earlier. Then the thing that made real cigarettes explode in terms of package of 20, pre-wrapped, was the invention of cellophane, because they would last on the shelf long enough. Prior to that, those companies that sold them pre-wrapped and packaged, that tobacco could go dry and not be a very good smoke. So it's interesting that candy cigarettes started so early. Have been controversial for a long time, all right? Because research has shown, and this is true, that they prime children to take up smoking real tobacco cigarettes. And early on were a way to market cigarettes to children, because at first the cigarette companies were making the candy. It would say Marlboro on the pack. But even after that, as we showed you, the packaging, that's a great package there, isn't it? But the packaging of these, as you can see, nearly identical. Thank you, StreamYard. Nearly identical to, thank you, StreamYard, an actual package of cigarettes. So you're kind of teeing them up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because of this, you can't get candy cigarettes in certain places. I'm going to tell you about those places in just a couple of minutes here. But they continue to be made and consumed all over the world. These things are known also as Candy 6, bubble gum, or simply candy. The bubblegum cigars are my favorite. I didn't include those because I might want to do a show on them later. Let's go through some of your comments here. Let's see here. Can't protect students. Did Mildred have a mole? She did not. She, for her age, was a very attractive woman for that age. I mean, she was, obviously much older, but she wore the appropriate amount of makeup. She did not wear old lady clothes. She dressed contemporarily. Mildred Plunkett I really enjoyed Mildred Plunkett as a teacher. Let me see here. SG Fanboy says, Ms. Deaton was a real see you next Tuesday. She was also a mammoth of a woman. Well, since we're on the subject, I went to a very farm school. It was a township school. And the woman that I had for second and third grade, which is maybe why I liked Mildred Plunkett so much, was named Julietta S. Coons. Julietta S. Coons. And not only was she my second and third grade teacher, she was the principal of the school. She also was extremely strict, but she was crazy. And she also was a mountain of a woman. I mean, a mountain of a woman. And she was into corporal punishment. She was into paddling kids for the slightest of infractions. I never had any problem with her. I do recall one of my parents saying, if anybody there threatens to paddle you, you tell them we'll handle that. And you might surmise that would mean that my parents were against paddling in the schools. Not really. They just thought they could do a better job at home. It's like, no, I don't want other people hitting my kids. I'll hit them myself, thank you. So we had Julia S. Coons for second grade, and I get through that nightmare. And then it's announced that she liked our class so much, she wants to teach us in third grade. And I was like, come on, man. Because you remember how long school lasted when you were a kid. It seemed to go on forever. And so we had her again. And then she announced that she was retiring. Okay. We're done with Julietta S. Coons, okay? Look her up. You could probably Google her. She's a freak. So we get out of that nightmare. Now, every year, your class would take a big field trip, right? Near us was a place called Connor Prairie Farm. And it's an exact duplicate replica and a working farm from like the 1800s. It's got all the buildings, the people there wear the clothes from it, they churn butter there, they do all of that stuff. It's like you have been transported back into the 1800s, okay? You know, the guy there when the school bus arrive, by what means of conveyance have you come to the farm today? I never have seen, one of those guys. So they had a cabin or two there. They had a general store. They had, of course, a livery stable. And they had a schoolhouse. We all in fourth grade file into the schoolhouse. And guess who the teacher in the schoolhouse is? dressed in a tent-size gingham dress from the 1800s. None other than Julietta S. Coons. There with her long stick, which she had also used in the 1960s. And she took us through like the multiplication tables and stuff. And there were kids in the class that didn't know their multiplication, and they got smacked on the rib. It was awful. Julietta S. Coons. I still have the report cards with their big J in her. See here. Terry Nee says, my third grade teacher made me sit under her desk, saw the slip and everything. Well, I won't tell you about Miss Fricky in 7th grade. Ooh, mama. 7th grade, not a good time to be a young, super attractive teacher in a junior high. Well, or maybe it is. I don't know. By the way, I should have mentioned long ago, the link is pinned to the top of this chat. The link to actually be on the show. You don't have to turn your camera on. You can just come on and do your thing. The room count is dropping. You know what? Let me tell you something. I think it's a little insult to injury all these years later for the mere mention of Julietta S. Coons to make my room count drop. I really do. I don't think it's fair. Gilman says, penmanship is a lost art. Cursive is not being taught in a lot of elementary schools. I hear you, Big Daddy. I hear, and I am great at it. Darwin took the kid on the sled. Yeah. It was a reasonable question. It really was. Michael Gardner's joined us today. He says, it's almost like they wanted to get kids hooked early. It is. Julian Zeezer says, I know a guy who rolls his own cigarettes. He does it because you don't have to pay cigarette tax. I did not know that. Now, if you have a machine do it, we might cover this someday, I suppose. But a guy invented a mechanical methodology by which to make pre-rolled, cigarettes. You didn't have to do it by hand, because before that, they did it by hand, and you'd have somebody do it. So, incidentally, back in those days, knowing your tobacco, what kind you liked and where to get it was a big thing, because you were selecting a specific tobacco to put in your cigarette. But that mechanical method of doing it, they could produce an amazing amount of cigarettes every day that were pre-rolled. But, again, shelf life. So, anyway. Tobacco companies and candy companies have always been in cahoots to make candy cigarettes, right? Tobacco companies used to allow the candy cigarette companies to use their branding. Brown and Williamson, one of the biggest tobacco companies in the world, has actually sent labels, copies of their own labels, to the candy cigarette companies, right? Yeah. There was a report in 1964 from the Surgeon General about smoking and health that criticized the candy cigarettes heavily because they were like, this is just a brazen attempt to get kids used to smoking cigarettes. There's a million other ways you can give kids candy. They seem to like all of them. Why must you use cigarettes? Anyway, and then at that point, the tobacco companies went, hey, we got to chill a little bit on this. We really do. Yeah. A study in 1990 said that kids who use candy cigarettes were twice as likely to smoke cigarettes as those who did not use candy cigarettes. Another study in 2007 surveyed 25,000 adults and found that candy cigarette consumption was reported by 88% of current and former smokers. Yeah. it's not really related, but in 2010, a law was passed that would ban real cigarettes from having any other flavor than menthol. That was it. Yeah. Popeye cigarettes marketed using, well, blow me down, Olive. That guy, Popeye himself. And, it's the one that had the red ash on it, and then they named it Candy Sticks to beat the red tape. Most of the world's candy cigarettes, the Earth's candy cigarettes, are manufactured right here in the United States of America, with the largest one, World Confections, being based in New Jersey. Hey, I know. Let's play a little game since we have no one here today. Wow, that is a low room count, Daddy-O. People just don't care about candy cigarette. I thought people would go crazy for this topic. What the hell? It's Halloween. It's the last in our Halloween candy extravaganza every Wednesday this month. Julian Caesar says, when kids graduate from candy cigs to real one, you say, you've come a long way, baby. Us candy cigarette smokers would rather fight than switch. I'd walk a mile for a candy cigarette. Let's play a game. I don't even know how to play this game because I don't think you guys can respond quick enough, but we're going to go through the countries of the world. And I'm going to say legal or illegal. Okay? Whether candy cigarettes are legal or illegal. All right? Argentina, legal or illegal? This is going to take too long. I'll just tell you. Argentina, they're legal there. Yeah. Armenia, illegal. Australia, illegal. Austria, they are legal. Yes. Bahrain. You'd think they'd be legal there since everything else is, but no, they're banned. Brazil. You'd think they'd be legal. No, they're banned. Canada is partial. You can buy candy cigarettes, but they can't have any branding or anything that makes them look like a candy cigarette in true Canadian fashion. Chile, banned. In Denmark, well, of course, in Denmark, they smoke like 9,000 packs a day. Of course, they're legal. Finland, banned. Georgia, banned. The Germans. Well, of course, the Germans are going to make them legal. They are going to make them legal. Iceland, banned. Ireland, banned, which surprises me. Israel, banned. Japan, legal. Then they ban all sorts of weird things, but then again, they do sell panties in vending machines. So Kuwait, illegal. Latvia, illegal. Lithuania, illegal. Moldova, illegal. Lithuania and some of these places are kind of destabilized. You'd think Netherlands, banned. New Zealand, partial. Norway, banned. Oman, banned. Philippines, strictly enforced in the Philippines, and their use is discouraged. Whatever. Poland, legal. Portugal, banned. Romania, banned. Qatar, banned. Saudi Arabia, banned. Slovenia, banned. South Africa, banned. South Korea, banned. Spain, banned. Sweden, banned. Switzerland, they are legal in Switzerland. Many of the Germanic countries, you see. Thailand, banned. Thailand. Do I have to go into Thailand and the things they do in Thailand? Do I have to really put up another photo? Turkey, banned. United Arab Emirates, banned. United Kingdom, legal as long as you call them candy sticks. United States, can't be labeled as cigarettes, otherwise legal. Now here's a place that has banned them. North Dakota. They banned candy cigarettes from 1953 to 1967. Tennessee, You can't buy no candy cigarettes in Tennessee. Can't do it. No, can't do it. We got people going to Kentucky and bringing them back over to the border. St. Paul, Minnesota. Banned since April of 2009. And that, too, is interesting to me. It's like, but they're cool in Minneapolis? What's the... I don't see the... Please like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell. I should have said that when we had more people in here, but they all left when I started talking about that hex upon my life, Julietta S. Coons. Man. Julietta S. Coons just never stops. Like, share, subscribe. We really need your likes and your shares and your subscribes. We are so down in viewership and impressions. I can tell how many people actually see the show in their feed. And it's way down for some reason. Now, whether they've throttled me, I don't know. But I do know this. Our listening time per viewer is through the roof. We're doing great there, which would make you think they would, but no. Anyway, if you can do those things, we do have super chats, we do have memberships, we do have our merchandise store at the TomGulleyShow.com, and then there's always PayPal, where you give the most, I get the most, and all of it is in the description or the begging bar scrolling at the bottom of the screen before you now. Our candy syringes banned. I don't know. I didn't know there were candy syringes, although it may be a quicker way just to mainline the sugar. Julian Caesar says gun running was too dangerous, so I switched to smuggling candy cigarettes just to avoid the tax stamp. Now, I'd like to point out the second cousin to candy cigarettes, which doesn't get talked about that much when people talk about candy cigarettes. And that is, of course, Big League Chew. How many of us enjoyed a Big League Chew? And I've never heard of any studies that say, oh my, look out, man, you're going to be getting kids on chewing tobacco. Stop it. You better stop it. Yeah, you better stop it. Yeah. It's manufactured in the United States by the Ford Gum and Machine Company of Akron, New York. Wrigley used to have it, but in April of 2023, it was announced that over 1 billion pouches of Big League Chew had been sold worldwide. It is the official bubble gum of the Baseball Hall of Fame, and they have a partnership with USA Baseball. So Big League Chew. Used to love me some Big League Chew. Back in the day, I knew guys, I never did this, although I did dip smokeless tobacco, snuff. I knew guys that played baseball or softball that would get a bunch of Big League Chew, chew it up a while, and then put chewing tobacco, leaf tobacco, inside of it, wrap it up, and chaw it in there. I knew people who did this. I come from a farming community, at least early on. Accolades. Looking up the Carmel High School accolades for, being in the state finals. Maybe we got some players that are getting accolades. I think my shutout record for a single season was broken a couple years ago. I don't know that for sure. I don't really care. Let's see here what we got. Oh, well, let's see. 15 of our players, academic all-state from District 3. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? These 5 young men, first team all-district. Some of them may be on the state team. Who knows? I can tell you this kid in the middle, not as tall as me. I'm sure he had a good season. Congratulations to you, young man. I can't remember whether it was I had 16 or 17 shutouts my senior year. I know I had 11 in a row. Let's see here. Terry Nee asks, do you remember liquor-flavored hard candy at Hickory Farms? I most certainly do. I most certainly do. My grandparents had that all the time. Rum, you could get margarita, you could get, yeah, man, I remember it. I remember that. They'd always throw it in with the, the root beer. Dilgaff says, Dillygaff, I'll just say, says, I used to do this in 1972. You used to do what in 1972? By the way, the link to the show is still open. I hear all these tough guys on the internet saying things about me and whatever and about other people and whatnot. Hey, man, I got an open link right here. Right here. Every day, but they're too scared. No, I'm sure they're not scared. They probably don't want to be on this show any more than I do. Who would? But Terry, back to your point. Yes, I remember that. There were all sorts of rum and coke was one. Yeah, they were flavored. My grandparents were big hard candy people, and they had all of those. They always had Jolly Ranchers. They had those little. You know what I used to love? Those root beer candies. Remember those? They looked like a little barrel, and they were root beer. Oh, God, were those good. Man, oh, man. That's a damn fine candy. All right. All right. Big League Chew. Apparently okay for kids. Here's another. I think these are computer generated. This is not. That's not a real one. But I think they would do it. I can see them doing it. Anything to sell those smokes, man. Tobacco is a very high profit industry. All right. The only things that approach it are software and perfume. A can of Skoal is 85% profit. Let's see here. Dilgaff said, I used to put the gum in with the chew and insert into you. Well, you didn't insert it into me, but I understand what you're saying, man. Yeah. A lot of people used to do that. And I think it started off with Kurt Bavacqua, who was a guy that used to win every year the Major League Baseball bubblegum blowing contest. But I think he was the one that used to sort of chew up some gum, a whole bunch, and then make like a little circular pad of bubble gum, and then put the chaw in the middle, wrap it up, and bam, right in there. Apparently, it stayed juicy forever if you did that. Anyway. Tomorrow night we will be doing Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and we will also be talking about the real-life person who plays her, Cassandra Peterson, and her amazing story, independent of Elvira. Next week, Monday, will be Hulk Hogan. That's on Monday. Tuesday will be Player Pianos, in homage to Terry Nee. I was going to do Whiteout on Wednesday, but now that I find out it's just Terry Nee being a wiseacre, I'm not going to do it now. Till next week or the week after. Wednesday will be the legendary hipster TV program Playboy After Dark. Now here's what I need your help on. On Thursday, I can do a show about Burger Chef the now no longer in existence but once proud fast food restaurant that competed with McDonald's, Burger Chef. I don't know how many of you remember Burger Chef, but it was a big deal. Or I can do a show on the unsolved mystery of the Burger Chef murders. So would you like Burger Chef, or would you like the Burger Chef murders? Unsolved, super creepy, made me very scared while delivering papers in the dark in Indiana. Wow, this room count just continues to just plummet. Let's see here. I don't know what that means. Oh, cigarette. You're trying to say cigarette. Yes. Yes. I'm getting the impression that English is a second language for Dillygaff. I don't know. It's hard to say. Really hard to say. Well, if you don't care about either Burger Chef or the Burger Chef murders, then since nobody's responded, and the link is up, by the way, we're going to do the Burger Chef murders, and we're going to do that on Thursday of next week. Upcoming topics on the Tom Gulley Show will be Sherlock Holmes, Fred Silverman, Whiteout, Michael Nesmith, The Microphone, Last American Virgin, and another unsolved murder mystery, The Springfield 3. Also unsolved, also very scary. Very scary. By the way, we'd again like to thank Terry Nee for the $1.99. Appreciate that. Very much appreciated. So absolutely no feedback on the Burger Chef or Burger Chef murders. Absolutely no. By the way, Big League Chew was created by Portland Mavericks left-handed pitcher Rob Nelson, along with Bat Boy and future filmmaker Todd Field. He directed In the Ballroom, Little Children, and Tar. Nominated for a combined 14 Academy Awards. He's personally received 6 Academy Award nominations. Yep. Anyway, might have to end this one a little early today, don't you know? Might have to stick a fork in this one a little early. More early than we thought. In earliness. So, I did get a new song today, if you care to hear it. I don't know that you would, but if you'd care to, I'll play it for you. Good friend Leon Kennedy was busy. Now, this one addresses the dabble verse, and I don't really talk about the dabble verse that much. However, on those rare occasions when I do, and I did the other day, maybe this is the song to play. You tell me. You go ahead and tell me, cowboy. Let's give it a listen, shall we?
He's coming for you. Evil puppets think they can play.
How about that from Leon Kennedy, our good friend? I don't really talk about the Dabbleverse that much. I do occasionally. I did earlier this week because we did the Hole Punch show. And the reason I did the Hole Punch show is a puppet. Man. The things I say about the Dabbleverse are the things I always say about the Dabbleverse. It isn't much. It's very direct. It's to the point. There's 2 shows, maybe, about the Dabbleverse that are decent. And those guys could do shows on anything and it would be good. The rest of them, horrible. Admitted trolls. If you admit that you're an internet troll, nothing that you say can ever be trusted. Not one word of it. And you can't be taken seriously in a legitimate setting of any kind. Or around me, ever. It's, look at yourself. Really? You're a grown person? And that's what you're doing? Not well? I watched a show last night. There's a guy, the Dabbleverse, he's up, he's down, he's with people, he's not with people, but I like him. I like his show. I don't care about the Dabbleverse part of it, but there was a guy from a show that's about as popular as this one, which isn't very popular. And he is so full of himself. Well, don't you feel like people in the chat room are saying, did you just say people in the chat room are saying? Are you honestly, really? That's a thing for you? It's just kind of grown children. So I don't really, that's about as much as I talk about it. And I wouldn't be talking about it now if I didn't have to vamp for another 11 minutes. I'll tell you what, that Leon Kennedy, he's been cranking out the bangers, I'll tell you. Anyway, with all that being said, I think I'm going to put a fork in this and get on out of here. We had the link up. We did our part, folks, today. And, tomorrow we'll be back with Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. But I think the only thing... Whoa, hold on. I almost messed that up. I think the only thing left to say is, till next time, we'll see you next time.
Tom Gulley's got the upper hand. Oh yeah. He's got style, got brains, got a podcast too. Dropping truth bombs. He's coming for